A very good morning to you. Big thanks for joining me on TMI Tuesday. Always a time out to extra the policies of government, looking at the laws of government and how it applies to the people, either at the detriment or for the betterment of the people. Well, when laws are made, it is expected that the laws we ensure that it governs the people rightly. We ensure that the people stay put and work in line to ensure that everything that has to do with the law is obeyed to the letter. And being that as it is, we look about the theory of the state, how the state came about. You must but say that, well, for the state to augur well, then it means that the people who brought about the theory of the state would also go a long way to ensure that they obey the laws of the land. This is coming on the heels of the executive order number 6 by President Muhammadu Buhari, all of the kick-starting of the implementation and the various reactions that has greeted that kick-starting of the implementation. Looking at the Justice Ijoma Ojuko's pronouncement last week Thursday at the Federal High Court in Abuja, giving strength to the presidency, saying that the law, executive order number 6, is in line with the Constitution, 1999 Constitution, and being that as it is, has strengthened the presidency in making a ban, a travel ban on 50 Nigerians who are placed on the watch list. And that has been generating reactions. Well, we look at that, we look at the legitimacy which ordinarily have been put to test. It's expected that what has become a law, what has gone through the legislature, then becomes a legitimate act, becomes a legitimate process. But looking at the different ballgame entirely, how the people who this law is made for, how they greet the development, we also go a long way to also access or make an assessment, overhaul on how legitimate it really is. Well, the legitimate test is like the litmus test. And so we always place issues like this on the crucible and give it some hitting and see if the changes will confirm if they are really true or if they are false. But that's what we'll be doing today. You and I, we will put in this issue on the crucible and we're going to hit it up. We've got the custodian of the laws, which will be on ground. We've also got a politician and a political analyst to dissect, analyze all of this, given thought and the process and the law, how it came about and how it can help in fighting corruption. Also, we take that away. We take a big bite on what today is. Today is the 16th day of October. I hope you've not forgotten that. And the United Nations setting aside this day as World Food Day. You know what it means, nutrition. It gives strength to the body to function properly. Take food away, then you definitely know that existence will be cut short. And so being that as it is the theme for this year 2018, which centers on our actions, our future. And so the actions of every government will determine how far, how reaching, and how positive the effect will be on its people in this goal. Well, some call it sustainable development goals, and from one government to the other, there are this measure, this planned action on how to go about ensuring food security in the polity. We take a dive and we take a cross look at Edo State government, where definitely we'll be expecting Monday Osai, the Commissioner for Agriculture, to be on ground alongside political analysts to look at this and also look at the issues emanating from what the government has done so far in this aspect. We'll also be getting the attention of the chairman of Farmers Association of Nigeria, Edo State chapter, to really dissect and analyze this. All is for the purpose of ensuring that we have a better government, looking at all of this, all embracing from the local, from the to the state and to the federal. The well-being of the citizenry is the reason for which government came about with institutions in order to galvanize the good dividends of democracy to the people. Well, some will say no, the dividends of good governance. Whichever way you put it, don't forget, we have a democratic system of government in place. And so it's always awesome and always common to be in it, in the phrase, to say democratic dividends. All right, so don't forget, I'm Philip Omo Gyupon, and I'm your pilot on today's edition of TMI, always on a Tuesday edition as this. And after this, we'll be looking at the newspaper headlines. We'll take a dive at different papers and how they really brought about or what they're talking about on the headlines that galvanized the polity into becoming what it is today as Nigeria, and even beyond the polity, looking at news coming from the foreign scene. We'll look at that, and definitely you would take a big bite with me on that to have a well appetite so that you can go visit the closest vendor to you. And but immediately after that, we'll be having a viewpoint as anchored by Blessing Eche, and that is centered on flooding in Nigeria. What a very important and timely issue. What is the government doing about it? Well, all of this pertains to you and I, ensuring that we have a better government. Stay with me on TMI Tuesday edition. I'm Philip Omo Gyupon. Welcome on board with me. A very good morning to you. Thanks for joining me on TMI Tuesday edition. We sincerely apologize for that break in transmission. It was occasioned by technical hitch. And before the break, we did say that today, being the 16th of October, has been set aside by the United Nations as World Food Day. And the 2018 theme is Our Actions, Our Future. And discussing this vital topic, commemorating this day with me, I have the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, and it's no one else but Honorable Commissioner Monday Osai Bovo. Many thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
And also I have the Chairman, Edo State Chapter of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Chief Odigie. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
Looking at what we have here, straight to the Commissioner, looking at what we have here today being World Food Day, and the theme for this year is Our Actions, Our Future. What's the posture of Edo State in observing the day?
Well, first, thank you very much for inviting us to this program. Our action, our future is very clear.
Yes.
If I say that this year celebration was picked from our own way of taking about agriculture, I'm not wrong. We believe that the era of oil is gone.
Mm.
And let me use this opportunity to thank our farmers for doing what they are supposed to do, especially the farmers associations who are in charge of these farmers. They are following the procedure, the way farming are supposed to be done, using the right chemical where necessary, using the right fertilizer where necessary, and doing all that follows. Like I said, the era of oil is gone. And when we were growing up, you will know, if you once go to farm at all, that during holiday, we follow our fathers to the farm. And that is where our school fees were paid from. But when oil came, the country at large abandoned agriculture. I'm particularly happy, and Edo State is particularly happy, and our governor is very focused. Our farmers are very focused that we are coming back to the land, which is our future.
Okay. But all this while, the state government has been on the agripreneur project. Where is it at this point? Can we say it has kicked off? And can we say a lot of entrepreneurs have been raised? How is the state government meeting that project?
Well, some people may not know or understand the concept of the
Agripreneur.
The concept is, we train you. We give you all the rudiments of farming. And he will talk about the available seedlings and every other thing. This year, for example, we have about 544 hectares of rice farm with 544 farmers, a hectare to a farmer. Seeds were purchased from Sidenta Nigeria Limited with a yield of at least 5 tons per hectare.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you saw it in the news, television, before the harvesting, or before we complete the harvesting, the rain came and submerged most of the farms. But however, it is a start. It is a point that you now see, oh, there are high yield varieties of available seeds that you can plant and harvest and then make money.
Okay.
The issue of entrepreneur, we are doing a lot. First, those who return from Libya, we have trained them. We are working with the Benue River Basin Authority to use the Songhai model on how to engage them, so that when you make your money, you pull out, and then you employ more people, go on with your own, others will come.
Okay.
It's like, let me also say, His Excellency has released to us now about 7 million naira to clear the Ohuo farm, Ohuo fish farm,
okay,
where Hildato, the state government has the then fish farm. And we said, instead of hiring the bulldozers to go and clear the place, we met with the community. If you cannot clear, you can park. If you can't park, you can also uproot the small trees in it.
Okay.
So you start participating from the beginning, so that at the time we now make up the farm, then you will also be part of it.
Okay. Let me pause you there. Now back to you, Chief Emmanuel Odige. Now, you've been the state chairman of All Farmers Association of Nigeria. And looking at that, can you say that the farmers in Edo State have had an impact of the government's attention on agricultural sector?
Of course, yes. You see, thank you for that question. The basic truth is that as a state chairman, by the special grace of God, I represent the larger part of small scaleholders farmers in Edo State. So by my position, I have been privileged to travel, around part of the country, to attend seminars, symposia, and all that. So I can tell you very, very authoritatively that as far as I'm concerned, Edo State is one of the states that encourage farmers. You see, like I have been telling people, you see, a Rome was not built in one day. You see, we need to commence the journey from a particular step. And I'm happy to inform you that for most of the genuine farmers, in quotes, that is effective farmers, because we have genuine farmers, we also have political farmers.
Okay.
You understand? For the genuine farmers, I think they've taken advantage of government, special gesture.
What do you mean by special gesture? Is it like as in they give them loan, or what are they giving fertilizers? Are they giving seedlings? How has the farmers in Edo State benefited from the government's attention?
Yes, you see, that is the area I wanted to go into. Okay. You see, when you say government as assistant to farmers, you see, government too, in their own way, they need to be very, very careful, because it is easier said that, look, this man is a farmer, let us assist him one way or the other. You understand what I mean, sir? But in most cases, you call a farmer, for instance, like we were asked to bring a comprehensive list of farmers in Edo State. Now,
that was in the past, and it's expected that by now they must have had a comprehensive list on that.
I'm coming, sir.
Yes.
Now we have coordinators in the 18 local governments of this state. So you don't expect me as a state chairman to go to my coordinator at the grassroots level, you know, to tell him who should be genuine farmers. It is him that will give us information about what is on ground in that local government.
Okay.
So we now do compilation and send. But to my greatest embarrassment sometimes, you know, after the submission of the comprehensive list, we were made to understand that some of these people are not even farmers. So when you are now saying government, you see, government control the taxpayers' money.
Okay, so with that, it means that you have not received physical gestures from the state government.
We have, in terms of training, in terms of you know, creation of awareness, in terms of support, one way or the other.
Financial support, you mean?
Not financial support. You know, that is, you know, I can say farm produce support.
Okay.
You understand? So there have been support from government.
Okay, back to you, Honorable Commissioner. We look at this, and we look at the project by the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, when he made it clear that there are going to be these areas set aside for this project to kick off. Now, we look at also people who, due to flooding, have lost their farm produce, mostly in parts of Edo State like Ilushi area and all that. What's government's attention on that? What's the attention of government under the administration of Governor Obaseki to attend to farmers? In spite of the list that he just said, they've not been able to really comprehensively gather. What's government doing about that?
Well, first, let me thank him for making the farmers to be aware that it is not money.
Okay.
That is the first thing in farming.
Of course.
He has been able to put that one into the majority of the farmers' mind. Money can be given to you to go and farm. If you do not have the land, if you do not know where to get the suckers if you are going to plant plantain, then you will misuse the money. So he is doing a lot about that. The flood issue that you said, it was, it's natural, or let me use the word, it's environmental issue.
Yes, it's a natural occurrence.
Myself and yourself will not control.
Yes,
it's like when you were off air just now.
So there was but that goes a long way to bring about food reduction.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
And
we are concerned.
And that's where government should come in to close the gap.
We are concerned about that. And that is the reason we've, first of all, ensured that the farmers themselves are safe.
How do you do that?
Yes, they were taken out from their, let me use the word, their villages, upland, provide food for them, provide shelter, provide medical care, and also provide education for the children. Where we now go and study what has happened. Until we finish the study, I will not be able to tell you our own plan to tackle it next year.
Okay, so which means at this page of the Obaseki's administration, none has been empowered yet.
Many has been empowered.
In terms of giving loans, giving seedlings.
Listen, we may not, as a commissioner, I may not even recommend to His Excellency and said, give loan to this man. I can recommend and said, give such loans to Farmers Association to give to their members so that we can, it's a loan, you should know that. We need to get it back so others will benefit. We can also recommend and say, oh, this is Omogupon Nigeria Limited, and we'll find what you are doing, you can employ more people. We recommend you.
Okay.
We have done a lot. Okay. And we only guarantee you.
Okay, while we still wait, looking at that, to come up and find a way to bring about development in that area, what do you think are your setbacks as an association What do you think are your setbacks that you would want government to key into?
I think we need to properly, ask ourselves questions. Like in America, an American say, what can I do to help my country? You understand? This thing is having to do with sincerity of purpose. I'm not condemning my farmers because I have been privileged, like I have said, to travel to most parts of the north to attend series of symposia and all that. You understand? A northerner farmer who just walk into, not even Bank of Agric, to any commercial bank today, apply for a loan. Before you know it, less than 6-7 hours, they will get what they want. You know why? They've established that trust. Because your question will be focusing, what has government done, what has government. Government too is always very careful. You understand? This is a political government. As at the time, I'm not a politician. I represent, like I have said, the farmers. That is larger part of the farmer in the state, because it is not only our farm we have in Edo State. You understand? So they themselves, they need to be very careful, because as at the time they now give out this loan we're talking about unnecessarily, other political parties say, well, look at what this government is doing. You understand? So they themselves, they need to be very careful. What I have to state here is that the issue of assistance, of government to farmers is two-sided. It's two ways. The first and foremost, we, the farmers that are expecting a loan, we should live up to expectation of government. That is one. Then two, government should as well encourage farmers by way of giving them loan as a way due with less protocol. For instance, the best time to give farmers assistance or loan or whatever, or even grant is November of every year.
Okay.
That is next month now. And the giving out the loan should be less, there should be no much protocol.
Okay.
For instance, like in 2016, when we were doing this Anchor Borrowers Program, well, we were asked to register with the Bank of Agriculture, which most of our members did. I can tell you now that about 76 of our cooperative society registered with Bank of Agriculture, with all members too, that is, members of the cooperative society registered, at their own level. That is, cooperative society registering, okay. The members of the cooperative society to also registering.
Okay, but beyond registering, can you say that you already have some of your farmers as beneficiaries?
Most of them have benefited one way or the other.
Okay, the homegrown school feeding program is land that is taken off in 24 states already. Why is Edo State government drawing back? Or is it that we are into it? Or is there a plan to go into it in the next 1 month, or when? What's the plan of the government in that respect?
There's a plan to go into it, but not within the next 1 month.
Okay.
I can remember there was a program that here in ITV or one other television when the people of the states even said to them, they agree with the governor that that should not be the first thing for now, and that where you are going to feed the children, the schools ought to be standard first.
Okay.
So I think we are doing a lot about that, and you also see what the governor or the state is doing about Edo Best, teaching of the students. All of us, what we are today is what we got during the primary school level.
Okay, but is there also a plan, or what are the actions of the state government in making agriculture a very attractive venture to delve into? Because we see the graduates of our colleges and our universities really say this as not attractive enough. What's the plan of government to make it attractive?
It is attractive. What you need to do is to have interest in it. You understand?
And the government needs to encourage the people on that so that they can have interest in it by making it attractive.
Don't believe that if you read agriculture,
yes,
immediately you finish, like he said, you are going to have a loan from this bank. First of all, have interest that, yes, I read soil science.
Passion.
Let me see how I'm going to apply the soil science. Not, I must be employed by the Ministry of Agric. If I read fishery, let me go and practice fishery. You understand?
Yes.
One of the things I also find out is there has to be a policy. agri-policy, which he joined us with many other multinational. We have got an agri-policy. Yes, these are some of the basics you must do.
Okay.
Then, if you are going to church, you must carry your Bible. You understand? So it is from the Bible. When the pastor is teaching, you look at your Bible and the interpretation will sink into you. You don't just say, I want to be a farmer. Let me also tell you, the state is doing a lot about the land we have. Before you farm, you need to have the land. So we have flied over part of the state to see the reserve we have, the space we have, the place we have built houses. What we are doing now is ground matching.
Okay.
You know, when you fly up, what you see may not be what is on ground. And thereafter, we will now say, oh, this place, this belt will be good for cassava. This belt will be good for oil palm. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
And then at the end of the day, you know, it is like he said, a Rome was not built in a day.
So it takes a gradual process.
Yes, it takes a gradual process.
Yes, and we'll get there.
We want to make it solid so that whosoever is coming will build on it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, as this morning on ITV, and I've been having a chat with the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture, Edo State. It's no one else but Osai Bovo Monday. And also I've been discussing with the All Farmers Association of Nigeria Chairman, Edo State. And it's no one else but Chief Emmanuel Odigie. Thanks for coming. Well, this will call it a wrap on today's edition of TMI. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow with Evans Unokogie. I'm Philip Omogyupo. Good morning.